Hey guys, we are back with more Let's Play Knights of the Old Republic. So last time we got the star map on Manaan, and it's time to try to find our way out of here. So we need to head back across the bridge, and back by the dead sea beast now. And I probably should have warned you in the last part in case you were playing along, but if you poison the sea beast, you poison the KotOR supply as well. And that can get you banned from Manaan unless you follow the correct conversation options, which you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. But yeah. So you could get banned from Manaan and never be able to come back. But I'm gonna try to remember which options those are, so I shouldn't have that problem of being banned. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't think I need to come back here after this, but still, it'll be good to show that. So let's go in this pressure door. And oh, we're back with our party members. And wait a second, is this the door that I tried to go out of earlier? Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's why you couldn't go out of it. That makes sense. They didn't want you to put they didn't want to put you right by the star map. But okay, so let's head. Am I going the right way? Up here. Yes, that is where I want to go. That is where I'm headed. All right, so this door. Had I not faced Darth Bandon on Kashyyyk while I was trying to hunt the dude down, this would be where I'd face him on Manaan right now, and hopefully no funny business is gonna happen. And no, okay. So yeah, I would have faced him right there had I not faced him on Kashyyyk. And I would have been a little more prepared this time. Same people, but I didn't think I would have faced him anyway. But okay, we've done everything we've needed to do. We found the star map, we've explored everything. So we need to head back up to the surface. Yes, use the submersible. Alright. And Roland Juan is standing right there. What is this about?
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility?
Your construction woke something up.
Something was down there? Living in the rift by the KotOR?
A gigantic Phyraxan shark that drove all the Selkath insane.
That's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any survivors?
The KotOR seems to have been contaminated.
Contaminated? That's much worse than I would ever have thought possible. It might have been better to lose the entire facility rather than damage the KotOR supply. This must remain entirely secret. We cannot allow anyone to find out that we damaged the KotOR production. Or we would be banned permanently from the planet. We can only hope that the damage that was caused will go away in time. But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And for that I thank you. Oh, and did you end up finding your star map?
Yeah, I did.
As you can see, by helping us, you helped yourself. Perhaps we can work together again in the future.
Alright. Thanks, Roland, for not helping me at all there. Okay, so we've done everything in the Republic Embassy we needed to do. But as we try to leave the Republic Embassy, see the door shut. Why is that shut? It wasn't shut when we came in, because we had to open it. Stop, human! The flow of KotOR to the surface has been virtually cut off, with what does arrive corrupted. You have been known to have asked questions about this, and our dialogue. And our spy monitors in the Republic Embassy recorded you leaving in a submersible that descended into the Record's rift. You will come with us immediately to answer for your actions, or we will be forced to take you by force. Okay. I haven't done anything. That'll be for us to decide, human. Great. We get another trial. What is this, the third one we've... No, the fourth one, I guess, that we've seen. Or been to. But if they can do that, the whole system could... Silence! This is not for outsiders to hear. Well, human, you find yourself in a most difficult situation. The Rakert Rift is the most precious resource on Manaan, and anything that threatens it or the KotOR it produces threatens our entire species. We will not tolerate threats to our neutrality, our existence, or our way of life. As much as we may admire your republic and your order in particular, I believe you will have a hard time explaining your role in this incident adequately. The flow of pure KotOR has stopped coming up from the ocean floor. Your submersible arose at approximately the same time this occurred. We have deemed you responsible. If the Republic has broken its neutrality treaty with us, the repercussions shall be very grave indeed. What have you done to the KotOR supply? We warn you, human. If you lie to us, we will know. Okay. I guess you'd find out anyway. The harvesting machinery released a toxin into the water. Harvesting machinery? What are you talking about? We know of this. What? What the fuck? It'll be discussed later. This cannot be kept silent. The council will hear nothing of this, and you will keep your silence or be ejected from the courts. But we cannot... Gosh. What an asshole. What has happened to the research station? Why is this toxin released? If you were responsible, you will be banned from Manaan. It's not my fault. The harvester malfunctioned. Malfunctioned? Impossible. That machinery was constructed by us to last 1,000 years. Even if it did malfunction, the hydrolium fuel would not have contaminated the KotOR supply. The pressure at the seafloor is insufficient to keep it as a liquid. What happened to the machinery, human? Someone must have injected the toxin into it. We will not accept excuses any longer. Okay, okay, I did it, but you can't do anything to me. I know too much. You have destroyed the KotOR. Why? Was our alliance with your republic not good enough? Have you turned to this dark side your order seems to be obsessed with? You have destroyed any hope of peace for our world. We should kill this human and ban the entire republic from Manaan completely. If you ban us, I'll tell that the KotOR is destroyed. You would threaten us with that? It would destroy your republic in the process. The Sith would no longer fear our destruction of the KotOR and would sweep through this sector unimpeded. You cannot be serious. No, do not doubt their kind so much. They're not rational. They are not rational, wow. I fear this human may do exactly that. We should kill him now before anyone knows. No, there are others who would notice his absence and begin asking difficult questions. We cannot ban the Republic for its actions. The Sith would gain too much, but we cannot let you go unpunished. If we harm this human, it may yet tell what has happened. It would seem you have trapped us in your net, human. We cannot punish you directly for what you have done, yet we cannot abide by the fact that you go unpunished. But there is little we can do. As long as you keep this secret, human, we shall cooperate with you. But if you break your silence, your death will be long and painful. Enough, you may leave, human, and we shall never speak of this again. Alright, so we get to stay on Manaan. We can come here whenever we want. As long as we don't tell anybody that the KotOR is destroyed. I think also, if you destroy the KotOR and you get banned and stuff, the price for med packs and healing items goes up throughout the galaxy or whatever. So that was kind of something I didn't know about that I read somewhere. But let's go ahead and return to Ebonhawk. About halfway through this video now. So we have time to go talk to some party members. Maybe somebody has some more stuff to tell us. Wait a second. I could have sworn... Okay. Oh well. Let's go back on the Ebonhawk. And let's see if Canderous has another story to tell us.
Yeah, what do you want?
You have any more war stories?
I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We raised whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice.
What do you mean?
Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition.
Okay, now that's my kind of warfare.
There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes. Especially later.
Later?
Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else you want to know?
Yeah, I want to know more about that story. Come on. Come on, Canderous.
Yeah, what do you...
Tell me more about the Mandalorian Wars.
We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. Revan was a genius on the field. Revan abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others would be too fortified to strike, and was willing to make sacrifices in order to advance goals. And in the end, Revan proved too much for us.
What about the Sith?
The Sith had gone, retreated into their empire. They sealed themselves off from the rest of the galaxy. We thought it would be centuries before they'd come back. It's amazing that they could rebuild their fleet so fast. But at the time, it looked like the galaxy was in our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The 2 fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars.
What happened in the battle?
It was not your ships, or your men, or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance.
Why didn't you retreat?
It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you want to know?
Okay, interesting. I wonder if he has any more stories.
Yeah, what do you...
Nope, apparently not. Let's go see if we can fix HK a little more.
Statement.
I don't know if I put another point on repair or not.
Affirmative.
Okay,
Request.
let's get started.
Statement.
Okay, that didn't work.
Supplication.
Alright, we'll do this later. Okay, let's go talk to other people then. Where is Juhani? Maybe she has something to say.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to...
Tell me more about your past.
Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that.
Alright. There were no KotOR on Taris that I saw.
No, there were not. Having fled the birth world of my species, my parents flew as far and wide as they could. And so I was raised alone, knowing of my birthplace only the few stories my parents could tell, and seeing no other member of my species at all.
Why did they flee?
It all comes back to wars and fighting. The curse of your race, it seems. In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds.
What caused them to flee? Isn't that what I just asked? Yeah, what caused them to flee?
KotOR was there, yes. My
That
people
was
had a
not
great
at all what I asked.
reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran.
How did that happen?
They swooped down from space across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed.
Why did the Republic not help you?
We were not members of the Republic. KotOR was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained, and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it.
But you survived?
My parents carried me as a baby with them, and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able, and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard.
How did your family cope?
My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die.
How did he die?
Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot look at this any longer right now.
Oh, well, we're gonna see if you can.
How may I be of...
Let's see if we can talk.
What
happened after your father died?
After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her.
How so?
When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day.
Did she die?
She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris.
You were enslaved?
They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credit for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians.
And they freed you.
The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream.
What did you do?
I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine, and we both know what has happened since then.
You became a Jedi.
I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you, but for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
Okay, is that it?
How may I be a...
Is that all the talking? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna end the part here. Next time, we still have Karth and Basil we can try to talk to. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.